Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Simple Art for Adults. My name is Erin, and today is our weekly Sunday Fun Day color and chat. I asked earlier in the weekend what you guys wanted me to do today, if you all wanted more ornaments or if you wanted more of this. Those of you who answered said that you would rather just, color and hang out, so I figure that's what we'll do. I've got my Caliart markers back out again today. I've got my Caliart color chart here that I made. So I am actually sitting here trying to think of what I want to do next. I can't decide. I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to do this down here in red also, because we've got red dominating kind of the top of the page, so I think I also want to pull it down here. So, I'm trying to remember what red I started with. I think it was R304, because it was more of a pink than a red. So, let's see if I can find it. And you guys, it has been a day, it has been a day. And it is still a day. Let me tell you the current situation, right? So, I had to go to the grocery store, and my boyfriend had to be at work at 4, and he works 45 minutes away. So what I did is, we're going to go this way. So what I did is I took him to work, went to the grocery store, and I bought everything to make homemade queso, which is basically cheese, salsa, whatever you want to put in it. Mine's cheese, salsa, and sour cream, because that's the way I like mine. Or Rotel. We use Rotel instead of salsa. So I go and I get everything I need to make it, and I brought it back home, and I realized that trying to make stuff for nachos at the same time as trying to make sure your cheese isn't burning while you're trying to melt it is no fun. I also realized that making queso and nachos and chopping up all the vegetables and all that stuff really makes a mess out of your kitchen. So right now, while I'm sitting here coloring this lovely image by Bennett Klein from his holiday sampler book, I guess you would call it, because there's only, I think there's 4 images in it. My kitchen's a disaster right now. There are dishes piled so high. All the food is put away, so I did get that far. I put all the leftover food away. But the kitchen's still a wreck, so I'm not looking forward to that. Also, there are still clothes in the dryer. Anybody else procrastinate worse than I do? Like, seriously, I will wait until the very last minute to do anything when it comes to housework anyway. I cannot stand, I don't like cleaning. So, I don't like cleaning. Like, I don't mind doing the laundry. It's taking the laundry out of the dryer and folding it that's the hard part. Getting it in there, adding some stuff to it, that's okay. I don't mind doing laundry. I just hate folding laundry. And the worst part of darn it, I keep getting out of the lines. The worst part about laundry, for me, is the socks. So, I don't know if any of you guys maybe agree with me on that part, that socks are the enemy. There have been times where I was just like anti-sock folding. So my entire family lived out of a sock box for like 2 weeks. Because every time socks would come out of the laundry, I refused to fold them. I just throw them in a box. Well, you know what though? They can fold their own socks too. I'm not the only person in this house capable of folding socks. So if they didn't like the sock box, they could just fold their own socks. It is what it is. That's how I feel about it. At this point, I think we're back to folding our socks, though. So what a lovely way to start off our Sunday Fun Day, complaining about housework and how disgusting my kitchen is. How's everybody else's weekend been? It's Sunday night now. Things are starting to wind down. All the holiday festivities are over. I'm betting a lot of you probably have your Christmas trees up. Got some decorations out. Are you all recovering from your, if you celebrate Thanksgiving where you are, have you recovered from your celebration? Have you eaten all the turkey yet? Or you still have some leftovers somewhere? Did the family that came to visit fly back home or drive back home today? I remember when I was a kid, I had family scattered all across the country. Now that I'm older, and I'll be 38 in April, in case anybody's curious. Now that I'm older, most of my family's gone. So I have an uncle, a brother, and some great aunts and uncles, and some cousins here and there. But I wasn't really close to my cousins growing up. We weren't. We were closer when we were younger, but you know, the older we got and we got to be adults and kind of life took over, so then we weren't so close anymore. So the holidays for me aren't really what they used to be, and I always think about going back and trying to make it what it was when I was a kid and all those things. But you know, you never really can. Even when you have your own kids, you can never really go back and turn Christmas into what it was when you were a kid. It's never that magical again. At least it isn't for me. It may be for some of you. So, and you know, Thanksgiving, we would all gather on Thanksgiving, and we would all eat, and you know, we had the traditional kids table, and the kids would sit at the kids table, and we didn't get to sit at the adults table until we were teenagers back in those days. And even then, once we were teenagers, the baby boom in the family kind of stopped, so we had teenagers still sitting at the kids' table who were pretty bummed out about it. Because they were like, now wait a minute, didn't you guys promise me that I get to sit at the grown-up table this year? And like all families, you know, every family has that goofy uncle, that one really silly one. So he would always like volunteer his seat at the adult table to go sit and make fart noises or something at the kids, because that's what he did, because he was that uncle. The one none of the parents really approved of, but just tolerated because they could. Or maybe you were that goofy uncle if you're watching. And if you were that goofy uncle, I do just want to thank you, because you made Thanksgiving more fun. Oh, so it's been one heck of an evening, and you guys can tell by the way I'm coloring. I'm getting all outside the lines here. Let me zoom in. Look at this poor ornament. It's got pink all over it. That's alright. I'm sure I'll fix it. So I need to slow down, relax, take my time. I sat down here to record this, feeling kind of stressed out, thinking, gosh, I've got so much to do tonight. And then, you know, it kind of dawned on me that the dishes are still going to be there when I'm finished, and the laundry will still be in the dryer, and I can always fold it later. I can always just go take a shower when I finished recording, or when I finished. Actually, it'd probably be better if I waited till I finished cleaning. There's just really no need for me to rush and go do these things. Especially not when I'm feeling anxious and stressed out and kind of overwhelmed by everything. And I'm sure a lot of you guys know that feeling, where there's just so much stuff going on, and you're like, you don't even know where to start. Like, my kitchen and laundry are right next to each other. So I get up and go in the kitchen to do one thing and end up doing something completely different, forgetting what I went in there for, and then I end up like running dishwater and trying to sort the sock box all at the same time. End up getting a whole lot of nothing done in the long run. So I said, you know what, to heck with it. I'm going to go sit down and color right now, because I have time before I have to leave tonight. So we'll just do it now. Anne says I'm no longer allowed to apologize for turning my paper, so I'm not going to apologize for turning my paper anymore. Especially with markers. Because markers are, you gotta just, I don't know. It's like the markers are the masters, and you kind of have to do what they want you to do sometimes. I'm not capable of turning my hand in strange directions, so we'll just do it this way. And I don't know how much we'll get through tonight. I don't know how long this video is going to end up being. It'll really just depend on whether I get any phone calls, what happens? So I'm actually going to use the chisel nib now, and I'm going to go back over all this. I'm still not very proficient with the chisel, but I need to learn, so here we go. It does let you cover more space, and kind of the trick about getting your markers to go down without leaving streaks behind is, number one, you want a nice wet marker. You don't want one that's mostly dry. And number two, you want to kind of be quick about it and make sure that you're getting, you're not letting one area dry before you put more color over top of it. Because that's what leads to streaking, is you put color over an area where your first layer is already dried, and then you end up with a streak. Move this to where you guys can see it. All right, that looks okay. That should lighten up a little bit too as it dries. All right, so now let's take the darker red marker and go in here in these little areas in this bow. Make it look a little bit more lifelike. So I found myself involved in like 30 conversations about copyright infringement today. And it seems that most of the population of the world isn't really up to speed with what really actually constitutes copyright infringement when it comes to art and coloring books and stuff like that. Which, in one way, it kind of worries me that somebody's going to end up getting themselves into trouble by posting things that they're really not supposed to be posting. And another thing that worries me is when the people say, well, I've been getting my images from Google for years and nobody's ever said anything to me about it, so I'm sure it's okay. That bothers me too, because it's really not okay. You know, at the end of the day, when you're downloading things that that weren't put there directly by the artist for you to download, there's a good chance that somebody went out and bought a coloring book or a PDF and then used that coloring book or PDF to scan it, put it in their scanner, got all the images out of it, uploaded them to some website somewhere. Somebody else saw those images and they just spread and spread and spread. And that poor artist who made that coloring book isn't seeing a dime because everybody's getting all the images for free. And I actually had a conversation today of sorts. I did speak to one artist today. I did speak directly with her, and then I corresponded with another couple coloring book artists who are pretty popular, and I'm not going to mention any names because they were private conversations after all. But one has said that she's honestly thought about just giving up because it gets to the point where so many of her images are out there on Google that it really doesn't make any sense for her to continue making coloring books. Of course, she's going to have her dedicated fans, you know, who are always going to buy her work from her. And, you know, that's true. That's 100% true. But if you want your business to grow and succeed, it's always about getting new people, too. And the more people realize that they can just, you know, oh, I can go online and download this image for free. I don't have to pay for it. That's more business that she loses. And then you have the people who are saying, oh, well, it doesn't hurt anything. I've been doing it for 15 years and nobody said anything to me. Well, then they're convincing other people that they should do it too. And the next thing you know, we have coloring book artists that we all know and love who are considering just not making coloring books anymore because their images get stolen so frequently, and it breaks their heart. It really does. Imagine getting up in the morning and going to work every day for 2 weeks straight, and then on payday your boss says, oh, well, you know what? Too bad. Somebody else did your job for free, so we don't need you anymore. We realized you already worked for your paycheck, but we're not giving it to you Sorry about your luck. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, well, that's illegal. It absolutely is. You know what else is illegal? Stolen artwork. So, I mean, you know, I get passionate about it, guys. It means a lot to me. I absolutely do not allow it in my group, on my Facebook page. I've had words with a couple people over it. Some of those words were words like, well, I've been doing this for years and nobody's ever said anything to me about it. Well, I'm saying something to you about it right now. So, unless you know who the original artist is, you can't post it here. And, you know, and I don't mean to sound mean, and those of you who know me and have had a chance to interact with me personally through messages or even in the Facebook group, you guys know I'm not a mean person. I'm really not. I'm one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. But I'm not going to let my group be a host for illegal activity. And I'm not going to let somebody try to tell me it's okay, because it's not okay. And it's just not. So. And as a matter of fact, I encourage people to report artwork that they find floating around out there. If you happen to see somebody's image floating around out there and it's not directly attached to that artist's name. So let's say that you're browsing the internet and you see a Johanna Basford picture, right? And it's available for free from such and such website, Pinterest, Google, something, something or another. And you go to click on it and you don't see Johanna anywhere. If it doesn't go to like Johanna's website, Johanna's Facebook page, then Johanna didn't say it's okay for the most part. That's the important thing. So if you see things like that, report them to the artist. Try to figure out what website that image is being hosted on. Who's got it, who's sharing it. Go to Johanna's website. In that case, hypothetical scenario, go to her website, email her support team, tell her what you saw and where you saw it. And let the legal team handle it. That's why they exist. So if we don't support our artists, if we seriously do not take a stand against these people who think it's okay to steal artwork, what's going to happen is we're not going to have any coloring book artists left, because they're all just going to decide that it's not worth it to them to do what they do anymore. So we all need to work together, guys. That's my feeling, and yes, I'm very passionate about it, and you're probably tired of hearing about it, so I'm going to shut up about it now. But that is how I feel about it. Alright, so we're going to start on the big guy here in the middle. So I'm going to do Y611, which is this light brown color. And I'm going to start over here on this side with his ear. And I think what's going to happen here, I haven't looked at any reference photos. I probably should have. But I think that with his ear, it's going to be lighter in here than it is around the outside. So this will just serve as our lightest color, and I won't, when I come back with something darker, I'll just do it around the edge here. Alright, now let's get the big nib out, because we've got a big spot here to cover. And again, if it's a little streaky, I can go back and fix it, so. This isn't technically marker paper, so it does absorb more of the marker than a marker paper would. It is a nice smooth paper, so it does make it easier to do this without getting streaks. You just have to be quick. Okay, now we'll do this ear. And whatever little streakiness I have left in there, I can come back and fix later. Alright, so now I think I'm going to take... Nope, we're just going to keep going with this. I need more practice with this one. I mean, up until this point, really, the only markers I ever colored with were Sharpies. And they're pretty, and small Sharpies at that, so this whole big chisel thing is very new to me, and I do need to get used to it, so we're gonna try, see what we can do. I'm trying to avoid his nose. I don't know if I said it or not when I did the first part of this, but part of me is really, really thinking about making him Rudolph. So, he may have a very shiny nose by the time I get done. I don't know. I haven't decided. Oh gosh. Guys, I feel so crazy today. It has just been one of those days. It's been a trying day. One of those days that makes you seriously, truly question your sanity. I'm really happy to be sitting down. Oh, no, that wasn't supposed to be brown. Oh, no, I missed a green spot. All right, well, let's just leave that for now, and I'll see if I can't find a way to fix it. Okay, this is supposed to be brown, though. This part. And this part's also supposed to be green. What did I do last time? Good grief. Okay. So, I'm not going to do what I would have done about 6 months ago and chuck the picture in the trash and give up. I'm going to try to find a way to rescue it. Let's see what I can do. First of all, I gotta remember which green I used. I think the green was like a light olivey color. G915, I think, is the one I used. I'm not gonna stop and go back and look at the... I'm looking for G915, in case you're wondering what I'm doing. Okay, so there's this one. We've got the G915. And then, let me see if I can find the... Alright. I've heard this works, but I've not seen it in action. Basically what I'm doing is trying to use this colorless blender to bleach out some of that color. And if I can successfully bleach it, then I can go back over it with the green. And we can consider it rescued. But you have to be careful, because this stuff, if you use too much all at once, it'll like bleed and make the rest of other parts of your image look funky, and then you really can't fix it. I don't know why they call these things blenders. I don't have any luck with them as blender pens. They can do some neat stuff, but they don't really blend. It lightened it some, but I don't think it's going to take it all away. Can you guys see that it's lightening that some? All right, let's let that dry for a second. See how it's scooted the brown over into the candy cane now? I can't win, guys. I can't win. All right, now let's let that dry for a while. Oh, goodness. Again, it has not been my day. All right, so we're going to see whether we can make this look even remotely like it should. I've never had to rescue anything like that before. Like I said, this is only like the second full image I've ever done in markers, so we'll see what happens. Alright, well this is definitely darker than that. But it might still be kind of wet, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens. And there's still, look, it's still leaking brown out into the candy cane. Still. It's like, see what's happened on the back. Oh, you can't see that. And don't worry, guys, this is an old test image. See this on the back, how it's like, it's made like a big wet stain. That's what's causing this to spread out like that. So I'm going to try to be a minimalist here one more time with this silly thing. Get rid of it. We may just end up with a tinted candy cane. Actually, I think this alcohol is pulling the color up from that image that's underneath of it. I'm not even kidding. Okay. That's as good as I can get it. So what we're going to do, I'm going to get comfortable because I'm sitting on my foot and it hurts. What I'm going to do is we'll go down in here and get this little bit. And then I'm just going to go over this one again. And we'll try to at least make the two sprigs match. The two ones that are darker. So we'll go over this one again. And try to make it the same color. So at least it'll be a symmetrical mess up. Alright. I think that's about as good as I'm going to be able to rescue it. Yep. Okay, so back to, I don't know if he's Rudolph's yet phase. I don't know what to call him. He needs a name. I don't color many animals. When I do, I really feel like I need to name them something. I mean, I'm guessing it's a reindeer. I don't see any, like, antlers or anything. Could be, like, a baby reindeer. It could be, like, Bambi, for all I know. I'm just not sure. So I'll figure it out. What I could do, guys, is I could go over it with, could use red marker on his nose. Oh! So I don't do the chisel tip often. Could use red marker on his nose. And then come back with the Folk Art Extreme Glitter Paint in red and like make his nose shiny. Or I could use Wink of Stella. Yeah, that would be cool. Let's do that. Oh, we don't want that. I'm just having a day today. Nothing wants to work right. Okay, no more chisel tip for me today because it doesn't like me. Okay, so I need some colors for the ornaments. I think I'm gonna do markers and gel pens on those. And I know I want purple because I like purple. So let's do R702 because it's a nice light purple. If I can find it. Which is the trick sometimes in this pack of markers because, let me tell you, it's a lot of markers. Alright. So we'll just stick with the bullet nib for the rest of the day because the chisel tip is giving me difficulty. Or I'm just not, I don't know. It's just not working for me today. And that's okay. I don't mind. Well, that's a pretty color. And that's also, I like it. I like that color for those ornaments. I also noticed I missed like a little sliver of the green. So I'm going to go back in and grab that really quick. Right there by this bow. Trying to see if everything else is symmetrical. Nope. Because I colored this in on the other side. So I'm going to color it in here too. Maybe next time I do this, I need to like not talk so much and color more. Ooh, I'm starting to make myself worry a little. Okay, so let's also do these, these little garlands. I want to do those in purple. Again, you kind of want to make sure when you use a color that you spread it out. Unless you have like a focal point. Like the focal point in this case is going to be the unnamed whatever he is, deer. So he's going to be brown and he's going to be the only thing in the picture that is brown. And that's okay. Everything else is just kind of like here to complement him and make him look better. So I'm going to spread my colors that I use to complement him around evenly. So there's the purple garland. So we got purple here, purple here. And let's do purple. Let's do these purple. These are grayscaled for us. So we could come back in with gel pens if we wanted to and add some sparklies. But it'll look just fine if we don't too. See what I mean? The little bullet tip does a better job for me. It likes me better. So I'm just really trying not to think about the fact that once I finish recording this video, I have to go wash the sink full of dishes and fold the like 9,000 loads of laundry. Technically, I don't have to fold the laundry or do the dishes. I have teenagers, but For those of you who are parents of teenagers, you probably know that sometimes it's easier to just, you know, avoid the argument and do it yourself because you don't want a headache that night. So that's kind of where I'm at today. It's already been a rough day. I'll probably just end up doing it myself. Alright, and then the last thing I think I'm going to do purple, I'm trying to look at these down here because there's like stripes on the bottoms of these bells. So we got this stripe, this stripe, this stripe. The stripes aren't matching up for me though, and I don't know why. Unless like this stripe here just isn't visible on this, and that could very well be it. I don't know. So that one matches that one, that one matches that one, that one matches that one, that one matches, yeah. It's just that this one center stripe isn't visible over here. I don't know what I want to do with that yet. We'll just leave that alone. Okay, so now let's do, I'm going to go back to my red, to the red, the R107. And go ahead and, it's actually vermilion, but I think it looks more red. Go ahead and do the stripes on the candy cane. I'm going with traditional candy cane stripes. If you guys are coloring this picture, you can do Jolly Rancher candy cane stripes. You can do Hershey's chocolate candy cane stripes. Man, candy canes have come a long way since when I was a kid. When I was a kid, we had the red and white peppermint candy canes, and sometimes we had the green and white wintergreen candy canes, and those were the special ones right there. So now you can get Skittles candy canes, you can get Jolly Rancher candy canes, you can get sour candy canes. I mean, you name it, it's probably got a candy cane flavor. So, kids these days, you guys have it awesome. Your candy cane selection is amazing. Okay. So, now what? Well, this I want to look at a reference for. Because I've seen people do it in different ways, and I don't want to dive into it just yet. I think I'm going to get some gold going in this picture. I think gold will look nice. So I'm going with a, let's see, Y003, which is a really pale yellow to start. And we'll start that up here. Oh, bring it down so you guys can see it. Start that up here in the bow. And this is just pale yellow again. It's going to kind of serve as a base. So it's 6:30, so it's earlier than I thought it was. So my panic level just kind of went down, you know, quite a bit. So I can take a deep breath. I have plenty of time to do what I need to do. And then go get in bed later and binge watch some YouTube or find something to watch on TV. I don't watch a lot of TV. I know a lot of the ladies on ColorTube talk all the time about their favorite TV shows and movies, and I just don't watch a lot of TV. So, I mean, that's one thing I guess I'm not going to talk about too much because I don't watch it. We watch Game of Thrones. We do watch that religiously. When Hannibal was on, we watched Hannibal religiously. Oh, let's see what else. We watched, what's the Morgan Freeman shows that are on like the Discovery Channel? Not the Story of God. That one's good too. I'm not, you know, somebody who goes to church all the time or whatever, but that was a really good and interesting series. It focused on history, which was, and it was part history and part like philosophy it was just really cool. Really, really interesting. And I think it would be interesting for absolutely anybody to watch. So we really did enjoy that. But I meant Through the Wormhole. We watched that too. And we like that. Because we're nerds. And anything nerdy. We like nerdy things. Except Doctor Who. I don't like Doctor Who. Yeah, I know. I'm a horrible person. I'm like the world's worst nerd because I don't watch Doctor Who. Did you watch Star Trek? So, I've seen like every single episode. I can't remember them all, but I know I've seen them. Alright, so now we want a brown again. I think I might just go with the same brown that's in Unnamed Mr. Whatever Deer here. And we're just going to put a little bit of the brown in. Again, just in the places where we see the darkest lines from, where Bennett's given us the darkest lines. So, just like in the little corners here. I'm not even going to put it, see, like right here, there's some more of those little lines, but I'm not going to put it there because it's not very dark. It's real light, so I'm just going to leave that medium yellow there. And I'm going to go around this edge, though. And I'm going to turn my paper, I'm going to go over here around this edge. And then right down here, just a tiny little bit on that little tail. Alright, and now that I have all the colors in there that I want to put in there, I'm going to take my palest yellow, Y003, which is Canaria. Canaria yellow. Is it Canaria? Oh, let me move it over here so you guys can see it. It won't focus. There it goes. Is a Canaria a new type of bird? I don't know. Some of you guys are probably like, I think she's drinking today. No, I don't drink. Just well, on very rare occasions I will. A little bit. I'm just in a silly mood. That tends to happen after I've been overwhelmed all day. Well, and the funny thing is that even though I've been overwhelmed all day, I opened up Twilight Garden by Maria Troll. Opal sent me that book, and ever since I got it, I've been like staring at it longingly and wanting to color in it. So I finally got it out, and I decided I was going to play on the nameplate page today with a few different types of pencils, namely polychromos. And the paper is very much like what's in Hannah Carlzon's books, and I think it might even be the same paper, to be fair. Which is fine with me, because I know that the Prismacolors work in there, so I don't really have to test those. So what happened was, I sat down today with the intention that I was going to color a little bit in Secret Garden, or not Secret Garden, Twilight Garden, on the nameplate page. Sorry, I'm shaking the camera. And I got things everywhere. So this is where I got. Some of it I like, some of it not so much. I did it with polychromos, and I'd never really blended with a polychromos white before, so let me show you what happened. If you look at these purple flowers, you're going to notice that the black lines are a whole lot thicker. Well, I had all the colors in there nice and pretty, and I decided I wanted to blend it out with the white to lighten it up a little bit, and like the black lines completely disappeared. So I went back in with what I thought was the right size fine liner to put the lines back in, and it was not the right size fine liner. That was disappointing. And then I put some white gel pen. This is just Jelly Roll, which works a whole lot better over polychromos than it works over Prismacolor, which is a good thing. The same purples, I put some of the same purples up here. This is polychromos on the outside, and then that's actually Derwent Color Soft on the inside. And I mean, I like the color, and I wanted it to be like a solid color because I thought too much shading was gonna make it make the flower I don't know. Anyway, what happens is I put the white Posca or the white jelly roll around the outside of it too, and left the center of it just solid colored. So that is where I am in that. Alright guys, I hear a dog. I will be back momentarily. Hi guys, welcome back. I am so sorry about that. Apparently my dogs were arguing over a blanket. Yes, my dogs argue over blankets all the time, so that's absolutely nothing new. You will have that from time to time in my house. So anyway, back to Twilight Garden. So I ended up spending way more time on this today. That was the whole reason why I brought this book out. I ended up spending way more time on this today than I had fully intended. And my biggest concern of the day were these little things. I even posted in my group today, and I'm not kidding. I even posted in my group today, what are these? Is this cotton? And then as soon as I posted that, I like looked at the picture and I thought to myself, if that's cotton, these are the world's biggest flowers. Oh man. So then Laura said that she thought they were something else and she had colored hers light blue. So I was inspired by Laura Malone in my Facebook group to color them blue. And I think that was a really good choice because they're going to be pretty well the only blue thing on the page. Unless I decide to do the background in blue. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the background just yet. But I am very pleased with this. Like you guys know, Anne sent me some extra polychromals that she had. Because I only had like the 12 set and then a few extras that I'd added to it. So she had some extras that she sent me so I could play with them. And I got them and I colored and colored and colored and colored. And I think I whined about how much I love them to my boyfriend so much that he actually ordered me a set for Christmas. So I'm like really stoked to have those. Speaking of which, he's messaging me on Facebook. So while I'm talking, you're going to hear me typing. I can do two things at once. So in a second, we are going to go right back to the, matter of fact, we're going to do it right now. I don't know what to do with this thing, guys. I don't know whether to make him Rudolph. I don't know whether to make him like Bambi. We're going to shake a little more because I'm putting my book back on the shelf. Does this look like gold to you guys? I do want to ask. I've not done gold in markers before. I think maybe I might want to add some more brown because I think when I blended it out, I blended too much of the brown away. So for now, until I get some feedback, I'm just going to leave it like it is. And if you guys think that looks like gold and it can be improved and I can make it look like gold, then that's also what we are going to do down here. We're going to do these gold also. So I think for the last thing today, what I'm going to do is the leaves, the holly leaves. And these are going to be a darker green. Typing again. So I think what we did the G915 on the green that we already have. So I do want to go like a smidge darker than that. I'm thinking maybe we'll do like an actual green. So I'm thinking maybe G413 and G318 for our two colors. So looky there. There's 413. 318. Oh, and there's 318. I'm getting lucky with finding markers today anyway. At least I have that going for me. So, we're going to start out with a lighter color. And I think this is a leaf hiding. This one's going to be in shadow though, so I'm just going to skip the light color for it. It's way back there, so. If you guys see me pause, it's because I'm trying to make absolutely certain that something is what I think it is before I color it. After the green branch mishap up here, I'm a little paranoid. Now again, because this is just the first layer, and we're going to put a darker color in here and then blend over it, it doesn't matter if this is streaky. I don't really care. I'm just getting the color on there. This tucked back in the back is a berry. So we're not going to color it just yet. But that'll give us a chance to bring in just a little bit more of the red. So that'll be nice. Alright, so let's stop there with those two. And we'll go in with this one. And again, just in the areas where the artist has given us the darkest places, I'm going to take the darker green. Try to be really careful so I don't get green down in my red. I'm trying to preserve that highlight around the edge too. Speaking of Anne, I think I may have caught your cold over the internet. So I do just want to thank you for that. All this time you've been telling all your people that it's a good thing they're on the other side of the computer screen and not right there in the room with you. Well, I'm not so sure that's the case, because now my head is all plugged up today, and it was fine the other day, and the only thing that's happened differently is you finally made a video, so that's my story and I'm sticking to it. It may be allergies. Like I have said, and I know there are probably new people watching, I live in southern Indiana, and so the high today was, I believe, 64 degrees, which in November is absolutely unheard of. I'm not complaining. I like temperatures between, I don't know, like 65 and 75 are perfect for me. And the low tonight is going to be like 33, so just like right at freezing. And this happens a lot around here, where it's almost warm during the day and then cold at night. So that's how I end up sick. It's not really Anne's fault. I just blame Anne because it's funny. And it's only funny because she told people that they weren't going to get sick from being from watching her or hearing her blow her nose or whatever. And I'm like, really? Just my luck. Yes, guys, I promise I'm not drinking or anything today. Honestly, I'm one of those people that when I get stressed out, like when I legitimately get stressed out and things are getting to me and I feel bothered by something, I resort to humor. Sarcasm is like a second language for me. So if you ever notice that I'm being especially weird or whatever, it's likely because something has happened stressful. Nothing has really happened today. It's just been a stressful day overall. So the good news is that by the time I finish this video, I'm probably going to feel a whole lot better about stuff. So there's that I can look forward to. I can't tell what this is, guys. So like, let me color this and show you. Like, this looks like the leaf right here. Okay. So let's get this in there. I'm trying really hard not to sniffle. Like, the longer I sit here and color, the stuffier I get. Okay, so this is the leaf part, right? What are these things? Is this like a piece of ribbon or something? I don't, you know what? It's going to be leaf. It's going to be leaf because I don't know what it is. And it doesn't really make sense for it to be anything else, so we'll just make it leaf. Now, it'll be my luck that Bennett Klein himself is watching this video and he's going to, like, comment below and be like, that was the most important part of that picture and you colored over it and made it a leaf. Sorry, Mr. Klein, if that's the case. I wasn't sure, so we just made it a leaf. I hope somebody out there is actually laughing with me. Otherwise, I'm going to feel really ridiculous when this video goes up and somebody comments, "Erin, nobody thinks you're funny." I'm going to feel really bad. Alright, so got those two finished. We've got this last one over here, but I'm going to go ahead and blend these two out first. And I didn't really have to blend them out. It actually looked pretty nice the way it was. All right. These look nice. I like the way these leaves are turning out, actually. Those look really good. I'm going to write this color combination down so I can use it again in the future. These two colors are working real well together. Alright, so then we have one more, and this one's just kind of... Actually, no, we have two more. So look, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with a darker color. I'm going to use only the darker color on this one, because it's tucked so far back in the shadow that there's really not going to be much highlight on it in the first place, so it doesn't make much sense to really try to struggle with blending these tiny little areas. So we'll just do that one in the dark color. And I'm going to do the same here, but only like in these little areas right there. Now starting from here forward, we're going to do it like normal. I'm going to put the light color in first. I'm going to come back with the dark color. Oh, don't stop doing that. Yes, guys, I know the side with the black line is the side with the fine point. I just don't ever look, so that's, you know, me being silly. And then that's just one more time with this one. And then we have our holly leaves done. So let's zoom back out. Try to get it all in the picture. Might have to zoom out just a tiny little bit more. There we go. That's not too bad so far, even though I did make quite a fumble there at the beginning. And looks like we recovered from it pretty nicely though. So I'm not too upset with that. We did recover from it. I'm going to leave the brown that I was using and the two yellows out. I'm going to put them in my caddy back here so that I can remember those. And let me know if you guys think we need to add more brown to that to make it look gold. So, typing again. That's all we're going to do this time. I think that we'll definitely probably finish it up next time. What I'd like to do is figure out how to make this look gold. Decide what to do with this, figure out how to make this look gold, put some gold in the middle, and then figure out the one last color to use here. So we're going to need one more color to put in here, and I don't know what color that's going to be, or we could just make more of these purple and gold, so I don't know. I'll have to think about that for a while. Alright guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up so that other people that you think might like it will be able to find it, watch it, and make fun of me for thinking I'm funny but not really being funny. If you like videos like this one, subscribe to this channel. You'll see more things like this, but I also do more serious stuff too. Like I'll do tutorials, and I'll do some serious color alongs, and I'll do giveaways too from time to time. So, you know, definitely stick around for that. And really, that's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in to Simple Art for Adults. I do appreciate it, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night.